Well, welcome back to the Hotel Orloff, ladies and gentlemen. I've been asked to show Spook Show posters, so let's look at some. I don't know how much lighting we've got. Oh, there we go. Got my flashlight. The place is a mess. I've been trying to get things in shape, but, you know, will that ever happen? Probably not. Okay. Well, so, the Midway Drive-In Theater. Now, spook shows were a phenomenon that died off in the 1970s, but for a while, 40s, 50s, 60s, these were a big deal. Your local movie theater would book a spook show, which would be a traveling magician, and they would rig the theater with all kinds of skeletons and all kinds of stuff. Now, if you want to see a great collection of spook shows posters, there's it should still be on YouTube. The late Howie Pyro had the best collection that I've ever seen of spook show posters, and there's a guy that shows off Howie Pyro's collection on YouTube. Howie Pyro was a punk rock musician, and he had a fantastic radio show called what was it called? Intoxica, right? And I used to listen to that all the time on what was it on? WFMU. This is a great picture here. There didn't used to be a lot of people that collected these spook show posters, and there may not be a lot of people even now, but there's enough people that there's a big demand. So this one, you could date it to somewhere between 64 and 66 because of the Munsters reference. See, Colonel Captain Phil at Young People's Matinee Only. He must have been a local kids show host. And this is from the Center Theater in Albemarle. So we could probably look that up on the internet and figure out where that theater is located at. And this one up here, this is at the Watson Theater in Salina. So they'd show one or two horror movies and have a magic show. Every intelligent person should witness this revealing program. Only capacity seating will be sold. Get your tickets early so you will not miss this exciting event. The management. Buy your tickets now. And this is from the Central Show Printing Company in Mason City, Iowa. I wonder if that company still around. This is the Princess Theater in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Let me get it better. It's a new kind of horror show, unlike anything you have ever seen. 1,001 thrills. See slave maidens at the mercy of hideous beast. Win one dead body. One real dead body will be given away free. Register now. See dead painter Van Gogh materialize. The ethereal form of and the posing apparition of Marilyn Monroe reenacting famous pinup pose. So, this one is more than likely, this is Dr. Satan Shrieks in the Night, by the way. This is the whole poster, by the way. So, you know, if they're showing Elizabeth Taylor as Cleopatra, you know it's from the early 60s. If it's Marilyn Monroe, it's going to be the 50s or early 60s. All on stage right before your eyes. Or if they're talking about the Beatles mystically appearing before you, you know it's mid-60s. Free in addition to everything else, so you'll always remember. Now, see, they're giving away to everybody chance to win one dead body. They're not saying one human dead body. They basically will give you like a turkey. Technically, a turkey is a dead body. You don't think about it when you're eating at Thanksgiving. To boys, large spirit portrait of Marilyn Monroe. Famous pinup pose. Plus a horrific movie. And they probably mean that literally. It's probably horrific in the sense that it's not very good. Hey man, dig this crazy show. It's Dr. Jekyll and his weird show. This one lights up, you know, if you were to have a black light, this would light up really well. I'm using this flashlight to try to light it up a bit. I started collecting these. I was getting them from eBay in the early 2000s, I think. And now they're far more expensive than they were then. This is a King Kong reissue lobby card from the 50s. It's not an original 1933 King Kong. They had a different looking advertising campaign, you can immediately tell. It's my Dr. Pepper clock that needs to have new light bulbs put in it. And we saw this Dr. Jekyll and his weird show poster here. Here's another classic poster for Dr. Jekyll and his weird show. Hey man, dig this crazy show for a real gone thriller. That crazy mixed up Dr. Jekyll and his weird show. Monsters grab girls from audience. Girls, can your boyfriend take it? Fantastic Congress of Horrors, the dead brought back from their graves. This isn't a Spook show poster, but I always loved this poster for Teenagers from Outer Space. There's some of you may know it as a Misfits song, but trust me, this is a great movie. And one of the greatest things about this movie is this right here. I remember seeing this in the Monster Times, the monster newspaper that came out in the 70s. They reprinted this ad mat. Before a beautiful girl. One moment later, a skeleton. And this is just a great one. Delft Theater, Iron River. Free to all girls. Chanel, My Scent, and other perfumes. plus 2-for-1 passes to everyone brave enough to sit through this show. Direct from Hollywood, Dracula and House of the Living Dead. And of course, you can watch trailers for these spook shows on YouTube. Just type in spook show trailers and you'll get about 30 minutes of it. This is my entertainment setup. Alright, so the request was to see spook show posters. I got a bunch of... Captain Strangelove helped me hang these posters. I was injured and sick, and I just said, well, let's put this poster here, and he was nice enough to drill into the wall and get them securely put up there. Yeah, that was an unpleasant experience after I'd first moved here. It was not fun. I married a monster from outer space. Queen of Outer Space with Zsa Zsa Gabor. I need to dust, yes, I know that. Man-made monster with every human emotion. Republic Pictures presents Tobor the Great. And of course, you know, Tobor is robot spelled backwards. Here's the inventor of the cell phone and of Wi-Fi technology, Hedy Lamarr. Let's straighten her Cleopatra tiara. Okay, what do we got over here? That's a glow-in-the-dark Frankenstein poster. The Undead. Oh, here's another Spook Show poster. This is from Lexington, Kentucky. This is one of the classic posters. So shocking, some will faint. There are also, here's the cheap way to get these posters. You can get reprints of these, and then you don't have to spend lots and lots of money, and you can get them from Retro A Go-Go. Hear the voice of the dead. This is a spook show that was actually at a drive-in theater. Look at that monster there. He's picking the car up. Can you imagine if they really had like robots, giant monsters that would pick your car up? It'd be fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. I blew this up. I blew up an old Wacky Package, Wacky Packages sticker, and I glued it on this bottle of Tang. I got at a garage sale, someone had an old bottle of Tang from the same time period as the parody Wacky Package sticker, but it didn't have a label on it. Someone had just stored, people would store in old bottles like screws or bullets or something, and I put this shrunken head in it. So, yeah, I really need to dust around here. Okay. I turn these lights on. Got some mess around here. What can I tell you? Monster on the campus. Painting by the great Reynold Brown. Painted a lot of these posters for American International Pictures. My friend used to own this original painting. He sold it. The only one I think he kept was the poster for the original painting for the spider. But he passed away, so that poster is still in the family of this is a
extra, extra, the first time on any
Poster for
American
Thunderball.
stage, see the talked-about girl in the topless swimsuit. It's
Which was the
sensational.
4th James Bond movie, right? Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, Thunderball. The 4th one and the first one that was like really big budget. The crazy, mixed up Dr. Jekyll and his real gone weird show. Oh, yes. It's all part of rock and roll culture. Yes, all of this. Comic books, posters like this, movies like this. Toys like this. It's all rock and roll. It's kid culture from the 50s, 60s. Here's another Spook Show poster. Orpheum Theater. That's in Pennsylvania, see there? 2 big shows, 4:30 and 8 p.m. Thursday, September 26th. Plus 2 big features on the screen. See, they let the local theater figure out what movies they were going to play, but what they did is they brought the horror chamber of blood and gore. From Hollywood, in person. Hold on. Bobby Dukes. Hollywood starlet. She does the twist. Okay, so you know this is from the early 60s. See monsters, torture, beautiful girls. Frankenstein, in person. Oh, I gotta move this giant ruler. It's in the way. This ruler. This is the story behind that yardstick that I'm not going to tell you right now. See the ethereal materialization of Liz Taylor as Cleopatra. See, that was Cleopatra came out, what, in 62? Right, the same time as the twist was really big. Posing photo of Liz Taylor to the first 500 boys. ID bracelet to all girls who sit through entire show. 1 dead body to some lucky person. Again, it's probably a chicken or a turkey. Hideous apparitions and snakes roam the theater when the lights are out. Monsters grab girls from audience. So that art there is stolen from the Blood of Dracula poster. Yeah, so you can date that to 1962. Cleopatra was like this huge blockbuster. Everyone thought it was going to be the biggest thing in the world, and it turned out to be a failure. But, oh well. And Merry Christmas to all. Here at the Hotel Orloff, it's Christmas all year long. And looks like we're zooming very close to a 3rd World War. Here's a souvenir from the 2nd World War. Warning housewives not to talk too much about what they heard about where their husband is stationed and what their husband's doing. Because you never can tell when one of your friends playing bridge with you might be a filthy spy. And of course, the Aurora model kits in the 60s were all part of this fascination with monsters. Kids were really into monsters in the late 50s. Well, kids have always been into monsters, but it was a huge craze there for a while. And into the 70s, when I was a kid, I was born in 65, and I have always loved monsters. How can you not love monsters? Lighting's not very good. Okay, oh, are there more Spook Show posters around? I know there's one upstairs or two upstairs. Well, if I call this a room tour when I post this on YouTube, it'll probably get a lot of views because people are really into room tours. This is meant to be put on the top of a record and it spins around. That was a birthday present from Kevin at Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona. Make sure you contact him for Monster Collectibles. What I'm looking for, part of what I'm doing right now is I'm looking for something. I'm looking for my copy. Well, I'll tell you when I find it. There's the Mars Attacks action figure from back when the movie came out. But there's a new one coming out from Super 7, I see. I don't think it looks quite as good as the old one, but I'll have to. This is from Kansas, Russell, Kansas. The Dream Theater. They'd print these with a blank space at the top. You could put your theater. Sometimes they'd handwrite it. Here they put a stamp, but whoever stamped it had about as steady hand as me, and it was all... Anyway, Revenge of the Creature. This is a speaker, Wurlitzer stereo speaker that goes to that jukebox over there. Boy, this place is a mess. Sorry, I got junk all over the top of these pinball machines. I'll clean it off. Like this CD set, 12 revved up bands on a thrill-mad rampage from Estrus Records. Okay. Oh, here's more Spook Show. From the Princess Theater in Bloomington. Is that the same Princess Theater that was over here? If so, No, this Princess Theater is in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. And there's a Princess Theater that's real close to me, 2 blocks away, but I don't know if they ever had Spook shows. Maybe they need to start. Princess Theater, Bloomington. 5 big happenings of horror. So this is immediately identifies it as 60s, late 60s, because happening was kind of a hippie word for a party. Do the dead return? Do you believe in ghosts? You must see to believe. See Dracula change into a bat and fly into the audience among you. Looks a little like Solomon Grundy there. And that's Attack of the Crab Monsters there. Free 2-for-1 pass plus gift if you are brave enough to sit through and leave unassisted. Alive, on stage in person, direct from Hollywood, Frankenstein Monster. A freak out, a fright. Yes, very much using hippie terminology. Dare you see it? Plus 3 screen pictures. To me, this is one of the greatest things in the world, is a Spook Show poster. I don't know how people can live without them. If you can't afford them, which you probably can't afford them now. I can't afford them now. I got them before when they were still somewhat affordable. Like I said, I'm not being paid by Retro A Go-Go, but they make good reprints of some of the old posters, and I would advise that you purchase them. This one's a great one. It's not Edgar Allan Poe, it's Edward Allan Poe. That's Edgar Allan Poe's brother. Presents the Museum of Monsters. Maybe I should call the lobby here in the Hotel Orloff the Museum of Monsters. a stage full of living horrors gone mad. That's there because of Mad Magazine. On stage, in person, alive. Look at that. See Frank and Stein, the two-headed monster. Can you imagine? The only thing better than Frankenstein is a two-headed Frankenstein. Have a bad heart, come anyway, and die happy. This is, what else they have? Spooks, zombies, vampires, a fantastic, weird, creepy, what does it say? It's fantastic, weird, creepy. Problem is I'm filming it at the wrong time of day when the sun is coming through those windows over there. It's creating a problem, but I've been sitting here with my back hurting all day because I was moving magazine boxes. If you dare sit through this, free shrunken heads to the 12 bravest men and free Black Widow spiders to all the girls. It's almost the Jack Davis Frankenstein, but not quite. But very good art, and the fact that they've got Mad there, and it almost looks like Mad Magazine art. It almost looks like Jack Davis. You can tell what they were going for. And someone asked me, do you have any Funko Pops? And I was embarrassed to say, yeah, I have some. I mean, when there were Munsters Funko Pops, I got them. I never called them Funko Pops. I always called them embryos, because they look like embryos. Oh, there's Alan the cat making a rare appearance. This here is a sword from one of those night model kits from Aurora. But I was happy to get these recently. 2 swords that were put into cheeseburgers at my favorite restaurant. The burgers are so big they have to impale them with these swords. I haven't seen these since I was a kid. I was very happy to get swords in my... Oh, and the bat that appeared and was flying around the house, flying all around the main lobby, never reappeared. So he must have gotten out of the house. This is not a real bat. Just an amazing simulation. And in here, in the gift shop at the Hotel Orloff, we always have the finest comic books stocked. And those of you that grew up in the 50s, 60s, 70s remember hearing this squeaking sound of the comic book merry-go-round, also called a spinner rack. This is like ASMR for comic book people. I'll let you hear it for a little while. Oh, now this is not real.
This mother effer is not real. I'm getting off this plane right now.
Remember that? Now she's a huge star, that lady that was screaming about someone not being real. It's great, but it's a reproduction that's from... but yeah, there are people that sell reproductions, and reproductions are wonderful because... and this is also a Spook Show poster. This is also not real. The real thing would be, who knows how much it would cost, because this is promoting an actual on-stage appearance by Bela Lugosi in a horror and magic stage show. This, if you had an original of this, it would be very sought after and expensive. Here's a Mexican lobby card. This one's real. For I Was a Teenage Frankenstein. El Hijo de Frankenstein. See, I was telling you that Mad logo on that poster is like the old Mad logo. There's the novelization of Thunderball, the poster you just saw. Have You Met James Bond? A complete assortment of Ian Fleming suspense classics. Well, it's fall. We're ready for the new. We'd be ready for the new programming on the networks, except there's a writer's strike and an actor's strike. Plus, no one watches the networks anymore. Oh well. If you like monsters, the Hotel Orloff is the place for you. This is a painting by, I got it, a lot of stuff I got from my friend that passed away that I was just talking about that had those Reynold Brown paintings. I bought this painting from him. He had it on eBay, and I saw it, and I bought it from him, and then he realized, oh, it was you that bought it. And it's like, oh, great, you just live a block away. I'll just bring it over to you. But apparently this artist, you can look him up on the internet, John A. Connor. Hey, wasn't he the guy in the Terminator? I don't remember. This painting I did myself. That's the cheap way to get nice paintings, is you paint them yourself. And I painted this based on a painting that you see in the Addams Family in just about every episode. That's their some relative of theirs. Oh, my battery's running low. That's terrible. That means I have to plug it in. These up here are not real either. They're reproductions. Oh, that Stallone Rambo is covering up. Okay. This is an advertising flyer for the pinball machine that's in the other room, and so is that. That's also in the other room. And this is if you see there, this is actually a Spook Show promo. It says at the bottom, "Alive in person with Brandon's Tomb of Terror." These are also reproductions. I charged this phone. What is wrong with this phone? This is an advertisement for Shock Theater. That's what started all of the monster craze when the Universal horror films were first shown on television in 1957. There's Vampira. Vampira was a horror host from the early 50s, but she didn't really show many monster movies. There weren't many horror movies released to television in the early 50s. She showed mainly mystery movies and like detective movies. I think she might have had one zombie movie. But, yeah. Let's see. What else can I show you? Oh yeah, here are those machines that were advertised in the other room. Fire Queen, Beat Time. Oh boy, I hate this. Let me get the charger. Drew is embarrassed that I didn't clean the house better before I started this episode. I got stuff everywhere. Stuff I gotta take out to recycling. Look at how embarrassed she is. I'm ashamed of you, dude. Okay. maybe I charge this over here in this other room, and while I'm showing you stuff in that room. Yeah, this phone is running low on electrical power. That's XNO. Oh, I left the flashlight. I was telling you about this artist in the last episode, and now I can. Oh, I moved the Philco Predicta over here. It still works. At least I assume it still works. I haven't fired it up since the move, but in theory it still works. Okay. That's an original painting. There's the World's Fair in San Antonio. When I was a little kid, that happened, and I got to go to the Hemisphere all the time. Oh, another warning about battery. Okay, let's get in here and plug you in. Into the monster corner. Okay. Yep. There's an electric plug over here. This is where I really need to do some dusting. Okay. All right. Okay, it's plugged in. Here is a limited print. It's number 95 of 500, Secrets of the Bat Cave. It's signed by Dick Sprang, who painted this. Dick Sprang, in his last few years, right about the time that the Michael Keaton Batman movie came out, he did these amazing prints, and I got one of them. And this is the Bat Cave. But it's the great thing about it is it has the Bat Boat from the '66 TV series or movie, and but it shows, you know, all the different it shows different Batmobiles from different eras, all the equipment. I dare James Gunn. And I have respect for James Gunn. I hear a lot. Well, I do and I don't. I mean, I love James Gunn's movies. I hate his Twitter history, which makes me a little nervous. But James Gunn knows how to make comic book movies. We have to agree on that. But if he had the courage to make Batman look like this when he makes his Batman movie that's coming out, I don't know when, a couple of years. If he was, I think it's going to be called Batman Brave and the Bold. Can you imagine if someone had the courage to make this, like, have the Batcave look like that? Come on, I dare you. Look at all this detail. Villain's Trophy Room. Oh, look, the Bill Finger Memorial Library. I've never really gotten, it's kind of like I'm going over it with a magnifying glass. They've got mannequins with the, I've never really poured over it like this. What does that say? Man, what genius. Absolute genius. Now, one of the many reasons to hate Bill Gates is that when his company designed the PC, the personal computer, why didn't you make it look like that? You imagine if you had something look like that in your house, and that's how you access the internet. That's the way everyone's office should look. There's the Batman cereal. This is not real. This is a reproduction. This is what I'm trying to. I'm striving to make this look like this. The monster corner. See, I even reproduced the sign over here. And you know what? If you go into Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona, he also has reproduced the sign better than I did. But this is just all the stuff I love, all that is wonderful in life. Only thing you don't see in this photograph is rock and roll. You don't see the Beach Boys playing in the all that. Customize. Yeah, I love rock and roll. I love comic books. I love monsters. So I never intended this to just be a comic book channel. This is the Batwoman. La Mujer Murcielago means Batwoman. And this is a real lobby card from Mexico. This is promoting the Batman model kit. This is also that artist Hexino. This is a Japanese. Let me get the. Look at how cool this is. It's some kind of playing. It's some guy. I guess you play a game on this, but I framed it. This is real, but it's just insane how the Japanese interpret Batman with all these bright, vivid colors, and always love that piece. Charlton66 sent this to me in an AOK. He just contacted me right before I went on. And he says he's going to the Boston Comic Convention and wanted to know if there's anything I'm looking for. Man, these aren't my glasses, are they? No, they're not my glasses. These are just reading glasses. I'm trying to find my glasses, my actual prescription glasses. I can't find them anywhere. Oh, different Batmobiles that need to be dusted. There's Grover driving that one. Yeah, that's a use for a Funko Pop, is putting them into that Batmobile.